In this video, I'll be showing you exactly how to get your first leads and clients through Google Search Ads by helping you build one from scratch. Now, this is exactly what our ad is going to look like when we are done. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you step by step through the process. I'm going to explain everything to you. And at the end of this video, I'm also going to show you my results that I'm currently getting from my ads, just so that you have an idea of what real world performance looks like. So if you're excited, let's get into the video. Now, before we get stuck in, I just want to welcome you to Neptune Design. What I do on this channel is I teach small business owners how to run their own ads without hiring overpriced marketing agencies. And if that sounds like you, don't worry, you're in good hands, because I've been doing this for the past 7 years. I've also taught business owners across 5 different continents. So trust me, I will guide you through this process and I'll show you exactly what the common pitfalls are. Also, if you want a deeper dive into Google Ads, I want you to check out our Google Ads course. I'm going to link it below in the description and I'll talk about it more towards the end of this video. All right, so before I dive into the tutorial, you're probably wondering, how exactly does Google Ads know when to show my ad? And also, how do I make it so that I rank #1 in the search results? So let me quickly explain to you how all of that works. So let's say, for example, that you're a plumber and you want to show up when people type for leaky pipes, blocked drains, whatever keywords people use for plumbers. So you will then set up your ad, but you'll make your ad target leaky pipes and blocked drains. And what's going to happen is every time somebody types in a sentence related to those things, Google will then show your ad in the search results. That's how the system works on a basic level. And how do you show up #1? That's probably your second question. Like, Devin, how do I make sure that my ad and my business shows up right at the top before everyone else? Well, it's a bit of a complicated thing, but the main thing you need to understand is that Google Ads will take every single business that is interested in those particular keywords. Like, you're not going to be the only plumber that is bidding on blocked drain or leaky pipes. And what's going to happen is Google will enter all of those companies into an auction and they'll give you an ad rank. In other words, they will score you. And most of the score is based on how much you're willing to pay for a certain keyword. So for example, if a business is willing to pay $20 for a keyword or click on a keyword, and another business is only willing to pay $5 for a click on a keyword, most likely Google Ads is going to show that business first, the one that wants to pay $20. Now, it gets a little bit deeper than that as well, because we need to factor in how relevant your ad is to the search, how good is your quality score on your ad, is your website usable, is it mobile friendly, is it efficient when people go on. But basically, that's how the system works. So #1, you get to choose your keywords. And #2, Google Ads will kind of categorize your website and kind of put you where they need to put you in the search ranking. And this changes from month to month. So sometimes you might show up in the top 8 search results. Sometimes when nobody else is bidding on keywords, or if your bids are really good, you might even show up at #1 or #2 on those search results. So now that we know how the system works, how do we actually build this ad? And that's what I'm going to show you next. All right, so today I want to build a Google Ads campaign for one of my workshops. Now, I'm going to show you the workshop over here. As you can see, it's how to get your first 100 leads using Google Ads. I've got this little form over here. I've got a little bit more about the workshop. I've got my testimonials over here. And then I've got some of the results that people can expect from coming to the workshop. And what I want to do is I want to point my ad towards this page so that we can start getting signups for that workshop. Now, all you have to do is log into your Google Ads account. Now, some of you might be saying, yeah, but Devin, how do you get to this part of the dashboard? You basically need to open a Google Ads account. They'll give you a free credit, like $250 or something to start off with. And then you can basically start advertising, and then you'll end up on this particular screen. Now, once you're in the screen, all you really need to do is click on New Campaign. And once I do that, it's going to give me a couple of options. Do I want to select sales, leads, website traffic, local store promotions. Most of us watching this video, you're going to select leads. Now, you might be saying, yeah, but Devin, I want these people to actually buy. Well, if you have an e-commerce store where they can just buy something off your website, then you can select sales as your target. If you're looking for leads first that contact you for services, for example, like the plumber, and you want to contact those leads and close the deals those ways, that's when you go for leads. So make sure you choose leads. Most of the time, if you're in a service-based business, you're going to choose leads. So I'm going to click on leads here. The next thing you want to do is you want to select your conversion goals. Now, you are not going to see anything over here if you have a brand new Google Ads account. You need to have a developer set up conversions for you. Now, let me explain a little bit about what conversions are. Basically, when somebody submits that lead to my free workshop, there's a little notification message or a little snippet of code that gets passed along into Google Ads to say, yes, I've had a successful conversion. This is also how you measure your ads and your spending, and you see that your ads are actually leading to the leads being produced on your website. So this is very important. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to link below to Upwork and Fiverr, where you can just look for somebody to set up your conversion tracking. Trust me, it's not worth the effort trying to figure it out by yourself. Also, if you want my preferred list of conversion tracking providers, in my Google Ads course, I've got a whole list of every single person that I work with to set up my ads and to set up ads for my clients, and that's linked inside my course. So I've got a whole document with my recommended freelancers over there. All right. So basically here, I need to choose what my goals are. Now, I don't want people to get directions, so I can take this goal away. I don't want people to call me because, as you can see, it's a workshop, so I don't really need people to call me, so I'm going to take that away. I do want people to sign up, but I have put the lead form underneath here with submit lead form. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove this one, and I'm going to take this one away as well. And I am going to say continue. Now it's going to ask me what type of campaign I want to build. Now, those campaigns that I showed you earlier on, those were search campaigns, and that's what we're going to do. Another word for them is also an ad word campaign. And last but not least, I need to select my website. Now here, you can just put the domain of your website. You do not have to put the final URL. I'll show you where to put the final URL or the place that they go when they click on the ad. I'll show you where to put that on the next step. But right now, all we need is my domain. So I'm just going to go and get it over there and say neptunedesign.co.za. And after I'm done with that, I'm going to name the campaign. So I will just say this is search ad example 2024. And I am going to say next. All right, so the next thing we're going to come to is the bidding menu. Now, as you can see, it's asking me what I want to focus on. Do I want to focus on conversions, conversion values, clicks, or impression share? Now, a lot of you get confused over here because if you say you want to focus on conversions, that means you want to focus on leads to your website. So you would think that that would be a good choice. And it is, but you need to have conversion tracking. If you cannot track your conversions, the AI, the algorithm, is not going to know that you did a good job. It's not going to know that it did a good job. It's not going to know that it sent you a sale or a lead. So basically what's going to happen is you're going to be happy with your ads, but Google's going to think, oh, we're actually sending this guy bad traffic because it doesn't convert. Let's try a different audience group. This is why conversion tracking is like super important. So if you do have conversion tracking, and you maybe even have some conversion data, then I recommend you leave this on conversions. But for most of you, it's probably the first time that you're running Google Ads, so maybe a better one for you to go for would be go to clicks. In other words, you're going to have an ad, and the ad is going to generate clicks for you, and you can even say how much you're willing to pay per click. So if you see there's a little box over here, you can say that you're willing to pay up to $2 for a click and no more. That means Google Ads will know that if you try, or if it tries to send you clicks that are expensive, like $15 a click, $20 a click, it's not going to be able to. You also might be worried that you might be chasing away business and you might not be up where you want to be on the search results, and I can fully get that. If that's you, what you want to do is you want to go back to conversions. But like I said before, make sure that you have your conversions actually set up, because if they are not, you're wasting your time with this particular setting. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave mine on conversions and we're going to move on. Now, I know you're probably going to have 1,000 questions about bidding strategies and choosing the right one for your business. So what I want you to do is write a detailed comment down below. And if I can see that you have an individual business or you have a special situation, what I'm going to do is I'm going to reply to you personally. I pretty much reply to every single comment. And also, if you have any questions just in general about the process and about the way that I'm going about this, you're more than welcome to ask in the comment section down below. All right, so now we're in our campaign settings, and the campaign settings is basically where we choose all of the nitty-gritty stuff, all of the important stuff. So let's get stuck into it. All right, the first thing it's going to ask me is if I want to be on the search or the display network, and I recommend that you untick both those boxes. Don't worry about it, you will thank me later. Moving on. The next thing you want to do is you want to choose your location. Now, as you can see, I've got all countries and territories selected. But what if I was a plumber and I was in New York City and I wanted to select a certain mile radius that I do my services in? All you'd have to do is, instead of choosing your country over here, you'll see it says enter another location. Now, what I'm going to do is I am going to click on advanced search. I am going to click on radius, and then I am going to click on, I don't know, New York City. Let's see, New York City, and I'm going to say target. And as you can see over there, I now get this little circle around my targeted area. Now, this can be a physical address. You can put a physical address, but it's going to give me that little circle, and now my ads are only going to show inside that little circle. You might also have specific places that you don't want to show your ads to, even though they're in that little circle. Now, all you need to do, for example, over here is, let's say, Elizabeth. If you don't want to show your ads in Elizabeth, and I promise you I'm probably not going to find this place, all you need to do is go to advanced. You need to type in the location. So let's see, Elizabeth, New Jersey, United. I hope that this is the right one. I'm going to click on exclude. Yay! And as you can see now, I've got the blue circle, but it's excluded Elizabeth from the results. And just like that, you selected your location. So I'm going to say save here, and we have our location. The next thing you want to do is you want to just open this up, and you want to make sure that your ads are showing to people in or regularly in your targeted locations. Now, Google Ads has always got this way of changing things up, and they kind of try and catch you out in the settings so that they make more money. So you have to be careful to avoid these common traps, because they can really suck up your budget real fast with absolutely no results. All right, once we do that, you want to select your languages. Audiences aren't really necessary because we're going to be targeting people with keywords. You're also going to get to the section over here where it says that you can only use broad match keywords if you have conversion selected, maximum conversion selected. But you can select either one of these settings. It's really not going to hurt you in the long run. So we're going to say off, use keyword match types. We can always change our keyword match types later on. And yeah, if you're wondering what those are, don't worry, I've got a video coming up on that. But what you need to do is hit that subscribe button so that you don't miss it. All right, I am going to say next. Now, once this is done, it is basically going to ask me for my URL. When I put my URL in here, I can say get keywords, and these are all the keywords that it's going to bid on for me. But as you can see, some of these keywords are not that good. So for example, Google Ads contact us, that's a horrible keyword. So you can go through these keywords and just make sure you have the right one. So let's say I just want, just to start off with, I just want 10 keywords. And let's see, Google Marketing Certification, definitely don't want those. Let me do this instead. I'm just going to write here, Google Ads Workshop, Google Ads Training, and Google Ads, let's see, Google Ads lead generation, right? So those are my 3 keywords. You're more than welcome to have as many as you want. Just try and keep it under 25. I don't want you to start off with 100 keywords because you're going to be very confused. If you have a lot of different keywords, what you want to do is you want to divide your campaigns up so that your ad copy is nice and tight and you focus on each key term. Don't try and make ads that speak to everyone. Rather make an ad that speaks to one person. So if you have cupcakes, cakes, and pastries, make one ad for cupcakes, one ad for cakes, and one ad for pastries, and you'll get better results with your ads. Moving on. Now I have selected my keywords, and now it's time for me to go and make the ad. So all you have to do in this part is you need to put in your ad copy. And remember that final URL that I told you about? We're going to go over here. I'm going to select the entire workshop URL. I'm going to come over here and I'm going to paste it in the final URL section. And once I do that, notice the little preview of the ad. It'll sort of update and it'll sort of show the full URL. You can also make your URL look better by choosing a display path. So you can like put in a whole lot of stuff. Like I can go lead gen mastery if I really wanted to, and that'll make my ad look all fancy. Now what I like to do, because this preview moves around a lot, I like to leave it on this one, which is basically my desktop preview, and I like to hit the pause button so I can actually see what's going on. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put a couple of terms in here. I expect you to put a lot more love, care, and attention than I'm going to put right now, because I'm just going to basically select anything and click through. But what I want you to do is think about ad copy that really resonates with your ideal buyer, really resonates with somebody who's going to buy your product or your service. Oh, one more thing. I forgot to show you a super cool trick. Let's say, for example, you do pizza delivery, but you do it in a certain area and you want people, when they search the ad, to think that the ad is local to them. All you have to do is check this out. If I go pizza delivery in, and then I open curly brackets, I can do this cool thing called location insertion. And what I can then do is I can insert a city, a state, or a country. So I can say city, and whatever city they happen to be searching for. If they search for pizza delivery in Miami, it'll show up as pizza delivery Miami. If they are searching from a different location, it will always show that location. Now, if you look at the ad preview, we can see it in action over here. So now it says pizza delivery in Howes. I don't know where that is. I don't know where a lot of these places are, but anyway, let's see. It's reloading again. It's going to show us a new one. Come on, come on, come on. Keep on going through these previews. I want to see that pizza delivery. There we go. Pizza delivery in Jesus Maria. You see? It's changing the location based on whatever's in that location bracket or whatever location they are searching from. All right, so now that that's done, we've got our little ad over here. And some of you might be wondering, hey, but Devin, it says here that your ad strength is poor. So how do you get your ad strength full? Well, here's the thing about ad strength. When you're designing your first ad, I highly recommend you to write the wording that you think will appeal to your chosen customer or to your customer base or to your target customer. Don't get so caught up in ad strength that you really feel like you have to do exactly what they want or put in exactly what they want so that you have quote unquote the perfect ad strength. Ad strength is important, but if your ad doesn't make sense, you're going to lose buyers anyway. So what I want you to do is really have a good think about what you're putting in here so that we make sure that we have the ad that appeals to the client the most. All right. Now, what I want to do is I want to take you through some more of these menus. Now, I've got my headlines over here. I've got my descriptions under here as well. As you can see, the descriptions are this little part that's underneath the ad. I'm going to zoom in just so that you can see it. So fashion design, grow your business, Google Ads expert with over 7 years of experience. I don't know why they said fashion design, but anyway, we're just going to roll with it. The next thing that it's going to ask you for is your business name, your business logo, and a couple of site link extensions. Now, site links are important because they make your ad look beautiful. They make your ad stand up, and they also push down your competitor ads as well. So what I'll do is, if you want me to make a whole video on just ad extensions, I'll gladly do it. Just let me know in the comment section below. But I'll just put this example on screen so you can see what site link extensions look like. All right, moving on. We've got our ad basically written out and it's beautiful. And we're just going to click on next. Now, if you want to see me do a deep dive onto keywords and getting the keywords right for your business, I highly recommend that you check out this video over here where I do like a whole 30-minute deep dive into just finding the right keywords and making sure your keywords are cost effective. Now, we are at the budget menu. And here's the thing about budgets. What is a lot of money for you, for the person next to you, is like a drop in the ocean. So it's very difficult for me to tell you which budget to start off with. The main piece of advice that I want to give you over here is number one, actually do your research into how much people in your industry are spending. And number two, if you can only afford X amount of money, then start off with X amount of money. So to give you an example, I started off 7 years ago with a $1 per day budget. And I still got leads, I still got sales, I still got results with my Google Ads. And these were actual customers that I could close, to my disbelief. But it actually happened. So it doesn't mean because you see this big shot over there spending $10,000 per day that you should go bankrupt by trying to spend $10,000 per day. The main point of Google Ads is to help your business be profitable and bring clients through the door for you. Don't get lost in the trap of you have to spend X amount to get X results. Every business is unique. I highly recommend that you run your ad campaign first, see what type of results you get, and then work out your calculations based on that. What I'm also going to do is, in the link below, is I'm going to include, man, I've linked so many things below. I'm going to include a benchmark. They basically looked at 17,000 Google Ads campaigns, and they looked at how much the cost per lead was in each and every single industry. So what I'm going to do is link that down below just so that you can get an idea of what you should be paying, more or less. So for now, as you can see, Google Ads is recommending $10 per day. I am going to go custom budget and I am going to say I only want to pay, I don't know, let's say, just for argument's sake, let's just say I want to go $5 per day. And as you can see, I've set my budget up. All I really need to do now is just press the review button. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on publish. I'm going to publish this campaign. I'm going to come back to you and I'm going to show you some of the results that I'm getting in my ad campaigns right now. All right, so I'm in my Google Ads dashboard and you can see that today I haven't spent any money and I haven't had any conversion. So when I go to cost over here, you're not going to see anything over here. What I want to do is I want to go back. Well, I want to show you the previous 365 days worth of data. And I want to talk you through the stuff. So as you can see over here, my cost/conversion, that's my cost per conversion. That's how much my leads are actually costing me. My total cost is how much I've spent on ads. This ad budget is only currently on $1 per day because I like to keep it on $1 per day just to show people that it's actually possible and to show all my students that it's actually possible as well. And my average cost per click is $1.06. And my conversion rate is actually pretty good. The average conversion rate for Google Ad is about 3.73%. These ads are converting at about 10%. And you get to spy on your keywords as well, and you get to see if your keywords are working. So if we go over to audiences, keywords, and content, click on search keywords, now you get to see all of my keywords over here. And you also, if you would just get out of the way, please. Oh my gosh. Okay, there we go. And we can also see which keywords are converting the most. So it's going to keep the keywords on the left-hand column. And if I go all the way this side, don't worry, don't be intimidated. I know it's a lot of columns, but it's really not, okay, it is complicated, but it's really not that bad. You can reduce the amount of columns that you see. As you can see here, Skillshop, Space Google is one of my best converting keywords, and this keyword is converting at 14%. I got adwords converting at 15%, and also my cost per conversions are pretty reasonable. $13, $7, $3. These are all good cost per conversions for my particular business. Now, if you ever find that a keyword is costing you too much money, all you have to do is click here and just click on edit, and then click on pause, and it'll just pause that keyword, and that keyword won't waste any more of your budget. And that's basically it, my friend. Congratulations, you just set up your first Google search ad. Well done, my friend. Okay, so you have your first ad set up. But how do you know if your ad copy is good? How do you know if your landing page is actually good enough to get those leads in the first place? And what do you do if you run your ad and somehow it just ends up not working out for your business? Well, my friends, this is exactly why I made my Google Ads course Profitable PPC. Now, what makes this Google Ads course different from all the other Google Ads courses on the market is you get monthly coaching calls with me where you can ask me anything, and we provide continuous course updates as well. And I give you a strategy to basically generate leads and clients and sales with small budgets with your Google Ads. So if you have a small budget, no problem. If you're not a computer person, no problem whatsoever. All I need you to do is to click the link in the description below and you can check it out and you can make up your mind for yourself. But I absolutely love it. I think it's the best course on planet Earth, and my students seem to think so too. So give it a look and find out if it's for you. Lastly, my friend, I just want to thank you so much for watching this video all the way to the end. Hit that subscribe button because I am going to be dropping lots more videos like this year, and you don't want to miss out. Last but not least, if you want to deep dive into keywords, click here. If you want to see what you can get for $100 a day, $1,000 a day, $10 a day on Google Ads, click on this video here. I will see you next time. Peace.